Welcome back to more Foundry Early Access. My name is Stylized, and today we have an episode that I've been looking very much forward to. It is time to get into the very late game tech here. This is only the yellow tech, but we are actually moving. Hey, jetpack upgraded, awesome. It is the assembly lines. Lots of weird things that we have to do. So that's going to be our target for today. And the way it works, well, it's complicated. But let's try and look at this part. So what you actually need is a special kind of producer, a special kind of assembler, a special kind of belts. And then you build it, and then you have this assembly line and makes it into a warehouse that then can be sold, and you get Thermalite or Formulite bars, and then you can get more of it. And then it needs robot heads, so we need robot parts and CPUs. That's what we built last time. We need more robot parts, Thermalite sheets. That's what we are going to get. And we have a little bit of that torso robot parts, and then we have hydraulic pistons out here for the arms and legs. But robot parts are the ones we need most of. And we have already produced the pistons, the CPUs, and the things. So we have everything we need to make. So all we need to do is build a lot of these assembly line producers, a single assembly line painter, a warehouse, and some start, and then some of these starter lines. So once we have that, we can get started. Now we've gotten all of these things that are ready to go, and we're going to be starting by figuring out how this works. And so you can see here there's something big, and I'm going to build it on this side. The reason why I'm building on this side is because this is the side that I have the robot parts, and robot parts is the most precious material. Also, yeah, everything else we have is also precious here. So I want to build it on this side, even though I have all the bus stuff on the other side. But I can also sort of argue that, well, this is kind of on this side because this is a warehouse, and it's all leading into a warehouse. So I need to figure out where I want to build it. I'm going to need to start with a start, and then we'll just have a look at how this thing works. It needs to get some power, so we'll get that going. Let's see if we actually have some of these small ones. I like the small ones better. The big ones take too much space. And then let's get you over to, oh, that's so close, and in here. Good, so now it's powered, and then we can see this start one. Well, how can we configure this? Well, we can make a service robot. So we start with the service robot and take some time, but what we need to get is an inbound of a robot torso. Cool. So we need to figure out how to make a robot torso, and there's an input here, and then we have a number of different options. We can either just do a single inbound, but if I make a single inbound, let's try that just for this part, for the sake of argument, and that will be robot parts is robot torso here. How fast can we make it? We can make 6 per minute, and I don't know what the capacity of this is, but I do know that some of the other ones are higher capacity. I'm kind of feeling that I'd like to have at least more of this. So I could make it with a green assembler that would get me up to, I don't know, 8 per minute, I guess. But I think it's actually better to do something along the lines of this, right? So we actually make a little bit of a bus build for this side as well. And there, the question is how many? Should we just go 3? Let's go 3. 3 seems good. And then we'll take a look at what I need inbound. We need 4 inbounds and 1 outbound. So I think we'll be doing sort of some consistent patterning here. And that'll be like, this is going to be the one that hits directly in. That means I need 2 on this side. That seems okay. 2 on this side. And there, those are coming in, and there should be enough room. And then I'll get, this will be the outbound. And then I will get 2 inbounds on this side. That and that. Okay, and the ingredients we need, can I just look at it? Torso, so robot parts, Thermalite sheets, circuit boards, and energy cells. So all expensive stuff. So the first one is gonna be here. Oh, now we're branching from the wrong side, and that means everything's gonna be really awful when it comes to this. And there, I'll just have to build it below and then build it up here. So we built our input belts. That was somewhat okay, and we're going to be starting by getting the outbounds hooked up here, and then we'll also go on this other side and then get the inbounds here. So yes, they are a little bit pathetic, to say the least, at this point, but that is kind of the only thing we have right now is this mediocre amounts, and we'll get it. We'll get more eventually. There and there, and then I'll get the next one here. There's also input, input, and input. Now, oops. This will obviously be constrained by by the robot parts. But that's okay. We get one of these in and we get a torso. Woohoo! Now we need to decide where the next one is going to be. So let's sort of have a fixed way of doing this so that I could kind of say, okay, that one's going to be here, and then well, it's going to be like 3 here, and then that's going to be 1, and then that one could be like the closest that makes sense, but let's also just make it 1 more. So it's basically 1, 2, 3 interspaced, and I think that's going to be a good enough space to the next one. Alright, so what is it we want to do now? Now we want to figure out how this actually works, because they just place 1 here ready, and then I will be again doing the same thing with saying this will be the outbound that goes into the assembler. And now we need one of the specific assembly line producers. They are bigger than the start, so that's a thing. I think that's going to be aligning. It's not going to be aligning. Of course it's not. And try again. So it's aligning this way. 1 over. Yeah? Now it's aligning. Good. And that just flows inbound. And then we build our conveyor belts. Whoop. There we go. And they need to be powered. And luckily, they can be powered by chaining them. Alright, so now we can see what our next option is here. So on the service robot, we can attaching arms, and then we weld the arms. Weld the appendages. So maybe we can attach the head because it doesn't need any welding. So let's get that done. So we'll do attach head first. That means we need a head input part. So this needs to be making heads. There. And that goes over here. Robot head. That's robot parts, CPU, and glass. Cool. And copy, paste, and paste. And that is robot parts, CPU, and glass. So I'm going to get 1 inbound here. And 2 inbound on this side. That one. And that one. And we're now building the inputs for the next one here. Inbound, inbound, and inbound. Oh, right. It's actually here and here. Because I want to build it. The logic is I want to minimize the amount of belts we need for this. Kind of just, that's a principle. That's nice. Nice build. This game is the best at putting things on top of other things. And we need the output. That's going to be here. So here, here, here. And we'll just go into this one and just insert whatever we have of robot parts so that we get something going. And let's see. Oh, look at that. They already put in a head on top of it. Nice. All right. So now we need the next one. Let's see if I can figure out how this one was built. This one is like, that was one, and then it would be like there, there, and then this would be the next one, right? And yes, I'm going to be using a silly amount of space. That's why I'm building it like this. So what is the next thing going to be? Like, I guess it's going to be an arm or a leg or something. We'll just take whatever random arm we have here. And that means I can now invalid. Why did I not copy that? That's weird. There. There. Okay, and can I copy these segments? Yes, and they'll just go on the line, and that connects. And I will, you know what I will? I'll actually be getting that in here. So, nope. What? Stop that. Click. Line maximum distance. You're kidding me? This is possible, but this is not possible. 60 meters. Maximum is 15 meters. That means the whole damn thing has to be moved then. So now the power can reach, and we are let's setting this one up again. We have to do all this again. Service robot, and that was the head we're doing. Yes, and we should be seeing heads coming in. They're not, because we haven't built all of this yet. So that is inbound, inbound, and inbound, 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 and this will also start with being inbound. And then go over here and become, oops, outbound, outbound, and outbound. There. Okay, so that should be building something eventually, at least. Let me see if I have any excess heads in the inventory. Nope. But they should be building out. Oh, look at that. That's actually not even getting there. There we go. So that going out. Okay, so we see this completed. Now, next one is maybe a random arm, I guess. Let's do random arm. Let's say attach left arm. So that means we need to make a left arm up here. Well, and the arm is an arm for some reason. And then there's a visual thing that's funny, I think. So that's more robot parts, and then some pistons thingy, and okay. So those two, the expensive things, are gonna be in on that side here and here, yeah. And they're all just exactly the same craft speed, right? Yes, 6. And then I'll get this one out here. That's gonna be the iron part. Whoops, that's surprisingly far away. Yeah, and there. So now you can see why it's beneficial to have it on that side, because that's where most of the things are, because it's more advanced stuff. So that the stuff that's the cheapest, the plates here, they can come in, and I don't mind them being dragged the longest part. But I don't want to fill up all of this belt with precious materials such as these two items that we just don't have enough of here. So that is going to be here and here. Huh. I'm kind of... No, it's actually okay. I was just wondering if I'd build it, misplace something, but nope, it's not misplaced, I think. Here, and that one, and that one. Alright, so that's getting done as well. We'll start with here. You're gonna be input, input, and input. And on the other side as well. And then we get to this is out, 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 and in and in. So what happens now is that we should be seeing, well, we're probably not, because we don't have any robot parts, so there are no robot parts. I'm gonna scavenge some robot parts from up here, so we can at least get a few arms attached. And the irony is that we're really short on all this for now, but once we build it, we will be able to trade these and get a ton of vermilite ore. So let's see, just push it in. Yes, so we get some arms in here. And then this is now the next part, which is a little tricky. So this is going to be that one, and then it'll be like here and here. And I'm not building it because I'm going to build something, because I'm actually not going to build anything. I just want it to be placed, and there. Because now that we've built the arm, it is not attached. So we need to attach the arm as well. And that means, yeah. And it means up. Connection, connection to connection. So this is now, and the funny thing is, that's not the left arm. That's the right arm. I don't know. So we'll weld the left arm. And we should see bleep. Alright, so now that's welded in place. Doesn't need to do anything, so we can remove all this again. But I needed it for just placement stuff. Okay. And we'll build the next one. So we'll build now one more arm here, and then we'll get the legs, and then we'll see. So that's just a little bit of repeating. So we're ready to keep this going, and I've just been installing it here. I built all the rest of this, well, not all of it, but the next part of it. And now we've got upper arms, and then we get a left leg. There we go. Let's see if we get some left leg attached. Well, we got a right leg attached, but it's all right. If we stand in front, maybe it's that. Then we're going to be welding the left leg. There we go. And okay, and then all we have is the other right leg. There, no, that is reset configuration. It is actually, first we need to attach the leg, right. And they're already coming in. Bloop. There we go. And then we need to weld it. And welding the right leg. There we go. And they will now move forward. But it's not actually done because the robot, for some reason, needs to be painted before it can go in here. And we also we need to weld the head. So that's something nice. All right, from you to you. Now, what is it we can expect to find here? First of all, I will be taking what? No. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that will go into the warehouse, which is a little bit delicate to load in. Huh. Well, that sucks. let me do that one. Yeah, so we can build it in that corner. So we use that corner for aiming. If I can even see it, that corner. There. That should be correct, and it attaches. Nice. And the warehouse, can I... It's over here. Configure. We are going to select service robots. So service robots, when they're built, will go in here. But we're not quite there because we need to do some paint job. So let's configure service and paint job. And I have no real strong opinions about this. I just want to make it ugly. There we go. That succeeded. There we go. That was brilliant. All we need now is some liquid. Now, this is 3200 per minute, but this one also this one says 32. So I'm going to just divide the whole thing by 32 and then say, well, it needs 1 per minute. Hold on. If this takes 32 and I'm providing 6 plus 6, 18, so it's more than half. So I need like 1800 paint inbound. And how do we make paint? Let's see in here. Paint. Maybe over here. This one, the white paint, is low density, oilomite, and gas, oilomite, gas, and water. All right. Well, it just so happens that over here we have some plants and stuff, and then we can just have a look at what we have over on this side. So we have a location that takes, what did I say again? I said low density. This is making low density, and this is making the gas, and then I got the water in, which means it's only 400 of each, but then it gets 800. So 2 of these will be 1600, and how much? I needed 1800, so let's make 3 of those. There we go. And that comes out as nice, beautiful paint in this one. And then it kind of probably has a problem with that height, doesn't it? Okay, doesn't matter. We'll go here, and then I'll be bending it. Let's actually get as close to this as possible. Yeah. And so the paint is coming out. Let's just figure out how to do this part. Oh, that's actually like this. And then we should get paint in here. Push! And beautiful robots coming out here. They're not exactly pretty, are they? Not exactly pretty. But, hey, they're our robots. And what happens then when we sell a robot? Well, they will go in here. And now I will be selling this because it's a sales warehouse. So some point we'll see a ship coming in here, which will come over to this point, pick up some robots and send them back. Once that happens, then we will see that we can cash in some money on this, and well, not money, but Thermalite, and then we can get this process working a little bit better. So the Thermalite here, the Thermalite goes the other way, goes into robot parts, and this one is luckily stacking up. What we will also see is that, no, we won't see that. Why is, oh right, the one we're not working, that's not working is this part, the robot parts. But at this point we have I've disabled this one. This is where taking the raw Thermalite bars and going into yellow signs, because we have enough yellow signs for, well, probably all the research we ever need. We can look a little bit on the research because that also sort of points forward in time. Pump check efficiency, pipeline is something, a better type of oil. But then we have blast furnace. That's also interesting to figure out how the blast furnace works. And there is then also the fracking tower, which needs some fracking liquid, air. We have to find out how we get the air. Hot air stove, modular building. Anyway, those are definitely things we'll need to get. I'll start research. No, I won't start. I'll start the research on this one. Also want the fracking, but we can't get the fracking until we have air, and we don't know where the air comes in. Right. Are we seeing some ships coming in? Yes, there's a ship coming in over there, so that should go all the way back. What I'll do now as well is take all of this stuff. This is the stuff that's making the maintenance drones, because the maintenance drone was something that was made a little bit much. There we go. So I'll just kill all the maintenance drones, and now we'll transition exclusively to getting thermalite from the service robots that are a lot more complicated to make, but not and instead of going it from the maintenance drones, were very expensive but not really getting as much. Okay, so what do we get here? Let's have a look at communications, and then sales, and then currency. We have some thermalite bars that need to go back. And we have some service robots. We have tried a little test here earlier, and we'll see another test. This was me testing how it worked. And then we're setting it up again. So let's see when we get some sales here. We now have service robots, and we're selling. Great, we got 2,090 thermalite bars. That is a lot of thermalite bars we just got here. So we'll see that this should be brought back to our location, so we'll just wait for this one to disappear, and then once it disappears, we'll wait for it to come back. There we go. So something got picked up here. They can pick up. That seems like a little low, actually. There's a few maintenance drones still being left here, but now we should be seeing the drop of maintenance drones, and instead seeing the increase in service robots going up. So this one should drop to 0, and instead we'll get that up here. We've been sort of force feeding a lot of this. Okay, so now we get the thermalite bars back. We can go back over here, and then from now on we should actually see that we're having enough thermalite. We might actually need another one of these. I think so. I would think that would be necessary. And let's see. This is where it comes in, and let's have a look. Yeah, I can't really see anything here. I can just kind of expect that they're coming in and then dropping it off here. So once they drop off, we should see a nice blitz of stuff going both directions. If I look at this, then it's actually filling up towards the robot torso. So any remaining will go the other way. Alright, here it comes. And I think they carry 250 each, so they got 250 thermalite bars coming into this glorious thing, and that should start getting us a nice trickle, only optimally. Probably only like 30 per minute or something. It's really low. But it needs to go back and become more rocket parts. So now we actually have a steady production of this part, which is amazing. Now I don't, in any way, shape or form, I'm not able to support all the stuff that is actually needed to be supported for this one. But hey, it can consume 800, and I can, right now I'm feeding in with 640, so that should also be fine. And we're starting to see just a little bit going that way. There's some fragments that will get us slowly over here. And that'll get us rocket parts. Can I see how much that is? Nope, I cannot. Actually, I can see a rocket parts. That is 2 thermalite sheet for 2 robot parts. So for every thermalite sheet we get, we do get this. So let's also see. Why are we not seeing the thermalite here? Oh, it's over here. So this is 250 becomes 1 sheet, and 100 bars becomes 1200. So 100 bars become 5 sheets. Okay, so that means 20 bars into 1 sheet. Ugh, man, that's a lot. That's expensive. That's why it's in such short supply. But everything now revolving around these parts. Oops, where are you going? Oh, you go into science. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Kind of sucks, the science part. Yeah, I don't really want the science part right now, so I'm gonna do that once everything is filled up. Then I'm just gonna go here, prioritize the other side. There we go. So they go in, and then it'll be like always 1 in and then 1 off, and then it'll go in and nothing more will come out. But that's one of those things. Eventually, stuff will get going. And things are starting to progress now on the pipeline here. We are getting a good progress here, and this mine might be stuck since it's waiting there. And these are coming all the way forward, and more is flowing in. And look at that, something is flowing, and we are actually Swish. We got it. And this one comes in. All right, look at this. This is looking really nice. The conveyor line is actually moving at, I guess, the speed that we can expect it to be moving at. I don't know which one is so slow, but there's somewhere that something is missing, and it's probably this one, right? Like, they're stacked up and we're not really producing, but I have one place that I put a lot of stuff in. That might actually be a little bit silly. There. Nope, I'll try that again. There, and then I'll do it sort of on the next one as well. There. Good. So that can come faster in here, and then the last one will probably have the same issue. Oh yes, even more so. Right, but we are gradually, eventually, maybe getting more of the robot ports inbound. Let me just check the first ones to see if the robot ports are starting to stack up. Not really, but at least there is a nice stacking here, 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 and then it's just getting further in. I think we'll do... Yeah, this is the one that's stuck, and I don't have any excess belt. This is actually the last belt. Then I can do that one. Just take 14 out. It's not much, but it's enough to get this going, and that means we get more robots in. How much do we make per robot? I think I make 500. I think 500 Thermalite bars, which would only be I don't know, not much. 40 sheets, so which would be 40 robot parts, which is again like being into 8 robots, which again gives us enough. So this is a positive feedback loop. It just takes a hell of a long time. So let me just talk a little bit about this. I think it's amazingly cool, this idea that there's sort of a separate line. Now obviously this is the first iteration, so all it does is like one single assembly line going into a sales warehouse. In the tutorial part here of this, then they do sort of highlight that it's gonna be there. Like later on there might be some things with sides and branching and splitters, which isn't really necessary, but it says like here, at the time of writing this isn't yet required, but eventually different tasks will require different times and you'll have to adjust for that. Yeah, so this becomes like a new logistics setup that you have to do that has to be managed with the normal setup. I really like the idea that having big buildings, we have the small buildings, and we have some assembly lines, and maybe eventually trains and, you know, other stuff that sort of have to work in slightly different ways, but still is a logistical thing that you have to do. Eventually probably like, oh, this takes twice as long as the other part, but right now it's good, and it's nice to make it on a bus build like I do, but the only consideration I have to have is that it's the last one is going to be starving, and that means the first one will be oversaturating. I have to oversaturate, but leave it alone for a couple of hours, and I'm sure that it'll saturate so that actually all of the first belts here are full of rocket parts. I've also just produced an insane amount of Thermalite for our science, which isn't really necessary, but on the other hand, you can also say turn the other way around and say soon we don't have any more science. This is all the science we have left in the game, and once we have that, we don't need to worry about getting any more or spending any more on science at all until, well, more content is being added. So this gives us a more steady supply of Thermalite bars for science and for, well, more robots, I guess. I guess I would also imagine that some of the new buildings we're researching, like this blast furnace, will be necessary for cooked ignium. Will be requiring some other some of the stuff, right? Nope, no, they don't actually. Okay, interesting. And then the fracking tower. So we'll need to figure out how to get the water for next air for next time, and then we'll figure out all the stuff that we can do. So this was a pretty good I like how we got here, how this is set up. It's scalable so that it can get up to a pretty big production of Thermalite, and then we'll get started on the fracking and the blast furnaces next time to see what they're going to be doing. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button. If you have comments, leave them below. Consider subscribing for more primarily factual content here on the channel. And of course, if you want access to the save games or just want to go the extra mile to support the channel and the work I do here, then I have a Patreon, and patrons get access to save games, and also just the joy of being able to help keep this channel alive. So thank you very much. Until next time, take care and stay effective.